I feel like Whole Lotta Red, bro, is aging better every year. And honestly, I don't think like that's a hot take anymore. Like when this album dropped, everybody knows, everybody hated it. Everybody hated it. I remember the fucking reactions are basically split between people who thought Carti had completely lost his fucking mind and the people who were already trying to convince everybody that this is the greatest album ever made. And looking back now, I think the biggest thing Whole Lotta Red had going for was that it really didn't sound like anything else at the time. Like, Carti went from the melodic, baby voice, diet lit type of sound, and like completely flipped the whole aesthetic. The production was darker, the vocals were crazier, the beats were more aggressive, and the whole thing just felt like this punk-inspired version of rap that people generally weren't ready for at the time. And I think that's the funny part about Whole Lotta Red now. A lot of things people complained about when it came out are literally the same things people praise it for today. Like Carti screaming, like that's iconic. The repetitive hooks, people say it's crazy. The production, amazing. Now everybody wants that type of sound. Even when that whole aesthetic became such a huge part of rap culture, that it's hard to look at the album as just another 2020 rap release. Like, you can hear Whole Lotta Red's influence everywhere, especially with the newer generation of artists who really started pushing darker production, distorted vocals, rage beats, and just this whole idea of making the artist feel more like a character, right? I'm not saying Carti invented that at all, obviously, but he did definitely help bring that into like this generation of music, in that mainstream element. Another thing that I appreciate about Whole Lotta Red is that it actually feels like an album with an identity, right? And I know that sounds simple, but that's becoming more rare. You listen to the first few songs and you immediately know what world you're in, right? There's this dark, chaotic, and almost uncomfortable energy throughout the whole project. And then you have songs like Sky, I Love You, I Hate You, Over, Stop Breathing, and New Tank. That shows how many different sides of that sound Carti was really playing with. It's not perfect at all, and I'm definitely not going to sit here and pretend every song is amazing, because it's not. But I think the album works better when you listen to it as a complete experience instead of picking apart every individual song. It's supposed to feel chaotic. It's supposed to feel excessive. Like, that's literally the point of this project. And I honestly think Carti's fan base played a huge role, bro, in changing how people view this album, because over time, Whole Lotta Red basically became a culture of its own. The outfits, the concerts, the edits, the memes, the leaks, the whole opium aesthetic, all of that helped make the album feel bigger than just the music. And once you start seeing people go crazy to Stop Breathing at a concert, or hearing a whole crowd scream over Rockstar Made, you start understanding what Carti was really trying to create with this project. And this wasn't really made to be some type of like comfortable album that you throw on in the background. It's supposed to give you a feeling. It's supposed to make you want to move, rage, do whatever the fuck you want. And I think that's why it survived when so many other albums from that era already feel dated. So yeah, I think Whole Lotta Red is aging better every year. And I don't even necessarily think it's because the album suddenly became better. I think a lot of people finally caught up to what Carti was trying to do with it when it dropped. And like I said, everybody was comparing it to Die Lit and expected another version of Carti, but Carti clearly didn't want to make Die Lit 2. He wanted to completely change the sound and create something that people will either love or absolutely hate. And now years later, 6 years later, you have an entire generation of artists and fans influenced by that decision. And that's pretty crazy when you really think about it, bro, because Whole Lotta Red might not be a perfect album, but I genuinely think it's one of those projects, bro, that it's going to keep getting better. And it's only going to be getting more important as time goes on, bro. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.